Greetings, my fellow gamers, and welcome to the Gamers Refuge. Today we're playing some more Kerbal Space Program, and we're going to put a space station around the Mun. So we're going to go ahead and get in our building here. And here it is. It's a pretty basic rocket setup, 2 stages for the main rocket and 4 boosters. You got the science lab there, I think that is. Yeah, so let's go ahead and launch this puppy. Yeah. And you notice the boosters are a little wobbly. Yeah, I'll have that fixed here in a second. So I'm doing post commentary. So, but actually I had to put some braces on that and all that. Had some unsuccessful launches, due to those boosters shaking around. So, yeah, let's get to the good part. And up we go. And of course, now you see that the boosters have support struts, holding them together and all that. And one thing I found was very difficult, especially at the lower altitudes, was normally I try to lean my rocket over just a little, to start forming an arc once I hit about 30 meters per second. And then as I get faster, I try to lean a little more. In this case, this is trying to lean the other way. It's just, I don't know if something was not quite balanced right, but, compared to the launches before it, it's not doing bad. But, I mean, the damn thing is so long, so that's probably what was throwing it off. Off with the boosters. And I thought I'd kick the engine on. In reality, I didn't. That's why the main engine didn't kick on there for a few seconds. And just look how wobbly this damn thing is. And I do have the space station, secured to the rest of the rocket with those little support struts. So just to make sure that it didn't break off during ascent. And even then, it's still a little wobbly. So we're going to come out here. And for the size of this rocket is and how sluggish it is, I want an orbit of about 100,000, I think that's meters or whatever. So, or maybe it's kilometers. Forgive me, I don't have a lot of this stuff memorized. I just look at the numbers. I'm not really looking at what's at the end of it. So, but yeah, keep an eye on it, and when it gets to about 100,000, we're good. So we're gonna set our node real quick and try to get us an orbit set. And that was one of the areas where I messed up before. I was not quick enough, because I only have a minute and a half to get this set, and I really need to start firing, probably even before that, to tell you the honest truth, because once you get rid of the main stage, the other engine's not as powerful and it takes longer. And here I'm trying to figure out why my engine's not working. Having forgot that I actually throttled it down. And I wind up separating the damn thing. So mistakes were made. And here we go, I finally figured out, oh shit, yeah, I had to throttle down. What did I expect? But there we go. You know, and yeah, it takes, I think it's like around 3 minutes. You'll forgive me, the playback window that I'm looking at in the recording, studio, the numbers are indistinguishable, so I'm just trying to run off of as much as I can off of memory. So if I'm a little off from what the numbers on the screen say, if I do attempt to quote a number that I remember and it's a little off, please forgive me. But yeah, we're raising up that periapsis, get him to turn, and there we go. Yeah, that was a pretty damn close orbit, if I do say so myself, considering that I really didn't start burning when I should have because, well, I didn't have enough time. But yeah, we're orbiting Kerbin and getting ready to plot a course to the Mun. And here we are, orbiting Kerbin and getting ready to plot our course to the Mun. Now, I'm not going to show the entire process and all, because I already did that in the last video to the Mun and back, so feel free to look that up if you would like. And just for the sake of keeping the video moving along and not boring the hell out of people, I decided to just kind of jump ahead a little bit, but I've already gotten the course plotted, and now I'm going to start my burn. And honestly, this can take a few minutes. And here we are. There's Kerbin over there, and the Mun over here. We are well on our way to getting the space station in orbit. And like I said, as you can tell, I left the mistakes I made in the video. I did that for a reason, to show that even with a fairly basic setup, and even though it is kind of long and hard to manage on the way up a little bit, but it can still be done. Even if you do make some mistakes, and you'll still have enough fuel to complete the mission and get in orbit around the Mun. So, as you can see, it doesn't look like we have a lot of fuel left, but that's actually a good bit. So, yeah, and here we are getting ready to make our burn to bring ourselves in orbit around the Mun. And in it comes. Well, we have our orbit, we just need to tidy it up a little bit, as much as possible. And you don't always get a perfect orbit, but it's okay. You can tweak it and adjust it. And the fuel cost really isn't that much if you got an efficient engine. And as you can tell, the descending, or the periapsis and the apoapsis are different. So what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to burn at the apoapsis to raise up the periapsis, and to my desired height, which is around 30,000 feet, 30,000 is the orbit that I want around the Mun. And then when I get to the periapsis, which is at the altitude that I want, I'm going to do another burn and bring the apoapsis down to match the periapsis. It's really easy to do, doesn't cost a lot of fuel, and you can look and see we still have a good bit of fuel. And what I wound up doing off camera is I used some of that fuel to adjust the inclination and stuff like that to level out my orbit and try to get as close to an equatorial orbit as possible, because I do plan on putting a base on the surface of the Moon, or Mun, and I want this space station to frequently pass over, so in case I send a craft back up, it's going to be easy to intercept and dock with the space station without having to do a whole lot of, fancy maneuvers once you get into orbit to adjust inclination, stuff like that. So, but I'm not going to get into all that in this video. The purpose of this video is just to get this space station in orbit around the Mun, which we have done. And this was part of actually a part of a career mode mission. So I am playing in career mode, and having to spend money and earn science and all that. So yeah. So this is for a career mode. This is one of the bigger undertakings that I've attempted. I've never actually attempted to put a space station in orbit around the Mun. It may seem very simple and very basic to more seasoned players, but for me, this is quite an accomplishment. I was actually very proud of this. Once I get a lot better at it and I start putting space stations in orbit around Jewel and all that, I'll probably look back and go, man, that was nothing. So, but for right now, I'm proud of the accomplishment. So in here I'm gonna, I was, clicking on the solar panels so I can go ahead and activate them, so we can start catching some of that free solar energy to power our space station. I also got some battery packs and all that, and like 4 battery packs, 2 1x6 solar panels. So that was the mission there. I was just checking to make sure I completed all objectives, and I did. So I was actually really thrilled that I actually did that. So. But I'm gonna quit gushing over the fact that I put a space station around the Mun before someone tells me to shut the hell up. I'm an idiot. So, but yeah, that's the deal. Yeah, there's some goo canisters. Yeah, I'm just trying to get some science up, and I lose a great deal of the science value if I transmit it. So I pretty much just kept it on board for now, because I do plan on docking with it, and then I'll transfer, if I can, I'll transfer the science to the visiting vessel, and then return that to Kerbin to collect the full amount of science. Yeah. And here I wanted to turn the lights on a little bit, put some light on the subject, so to speak. And it looks pretty neat. And of course, you gotta turn the lights on the Capella on. I got Jebediah Kerman up in there, so give the little guy some light. Well, that looks really cool. I decided to go ahead and start turning the lights off, so I didn't burn up unnecessary electricity. That I could be, storing up and saving. Yeah. Oh yeah, and extending the communication antennas. So I probably only really need to put 1 on it, but just because like I said, I'm a little OCD about some things, and I just wanted to put 2 on opposing sides. I don't know why. Just to me, it looked a little bit more visually pleasing. It really makes no difference though in the communication value, I don't think. So. But yeah, I did a crew report, and whether I transmit or keep it, it's worth the same amount of science. So I was like, well, might as well just go ahead and transmit it. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the fuel tank and the engine hooked to it for now. So just in case I need to make any last minute adjustments, but I do have RCS on it as well, so it's not really a big deal. I can make minor adjustments in orbit with the RCS. But I just love the view. Orbiting this moon, seeing the haze off in the distance, which, is the equivalent to our Milky Way. It's just, I just love the view of it. The thought of being out in space with all, going to different like moons and planets and all that is just, I don't know, something that's always always seemed to appeal to me. I've always been interested in space ever since I was a kid. So that's probably why I like this game so much. It really plays on one of my major childhood interests. And I'll never get to pilot a spaceship in real life, but hey, at least I can do it in a video game, right? So that's all I got for this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. This is one of my favorite videos anymore to, record and make videos with. So leave some comments down below if you want. And as always, I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch my videos. And until the next time, I will see you in the games.